For 50 years, the CPP-NPA has been destroying the country's democracy, throwing lies after lies and abusing innocent indigenous Filipino people in the far-flung areas. But the National Commission on Indigenous Peoples stands for the truth, that the Philippine government is a partner and protector of every Filipino, contrary to claims made by the communist rebels. Melales Moras has more on the Truth Caravan of the IP leaders in the United Nations headquarters in Switzerland.
Even with a heavy heart due to the CPP-NPA atrocities they had suffered, 8 Filipino indigenous peoples leaders courageously broke their silence and testified before the United Nations headquarters in Geneva, Switzerland, to call on the international community to help end the violence the communist groups in the Philippines has visited on them. Each of them had tragic stories to tell, like Datu Panuliman James Binayao.
We need your help. Because for the past 50 years, the CPP-NPA come to our ancestral domain to steal the peace and development that we have. They destroy our families, they destroy our cultures, and they destroy the future of our next generation.
The IP leaders had a chance to share their experiences with some UN officials in a side event of the 42nd session of the UN Human Rights Council. Aside from the IPs, also present in the program was the National Commission on Indigenous Peoples, which reported how intense the impact of violence perpetrated by the leftist groups. Some of these atrocities include mass killings, invasion of ancestral lands, and exploitation of IP children and youth. In a speech, NCIP Secretary Allen Capuyan stated that amidst all this, the government is the real partner and protector of the IPs in this war against communism.
Enough of the lies and deception. The world deserves to know the truth. The Philippine government is a promoter, protector, and fulfiller of the rights of every Filipino citizen, especially its indigenous people's brothers and sisters. And it does so guided by a clear normative framework on the indigenous people's rights.
He also reiterated that the administration has already launched various programs for IPs.
The state-led indigenous people's participation framework sustains the active involvement of indigenous peoples in government, decision-making, especially in self and community development.
For now, the IP leaders are in a truth mission across Europe to promote peace and call on for help to put an end to the CPP-NPA's viciousness. Melales Moras for The Nation.
Beyond the headlines,
it's news with a different perspective.
before the day ends,
For events that shape our views and impacts the world around us.
we keep you up to speed.
With Richmond Cruz and Charms Espina. PTV News Headlines, your comprehensive nightly news source, only here.